first thing we're going to do is start by making the heart. We need 2 of them, one for the top and one for the bottom. So we're going to start with a magic circle, chain 2, and then in that second chain from the hook, we're going to place 2 single crochet. For the second row, we're going to place an increase in each stitch, so we have a total of 4 stitches. Next, we are going to place an increase in the first and last stitch. So we place an increase, we're going to do 2 single crochet in the middle, and then an increase on that last stitch. So now we're just going to keep doing that for the next few rows. We're going to start with an increase once again in this 4th row. We're going to do 4 single crochet across those middle stitches, and then we're going to place an increase at the end. Once again, we are increasing in the first and last stitch and just single crocheting across those middle stitches. So for row 5, that is an increase, 6 single crochet across and an increase at the end. And we're going to do this until we reach the 12th row. So an increase in the first stitch, single crocheting across all of those middle stitches, and an increase in the last stitch. And I will come back after I have reached the 12th row. So now I have completed my 12th row. Right now I'm just measuring it against the box that I have, and we have basically just completed that triangular shape at the bottom, and now we're going to start working up the sides of the box. So now we're going to alternate between a row of single crochets and an increase row. Now that we have completed that row of single crochet, we're going to go back to our original pattern of increasing in the first and last stitch. So we're going to increase, do 22 single crochet across, and increase in the last stitch for row 14 for a total of 26 stitches. Once again, we're doing a row of single crochet across for a total of 26 stitches. I didn't include a clip of it, but row 16 and 17 are just a repeat of row 14 and 15. So for row 16, you are going to increase in that first and last stitch and single crochet across. And then for row 17, you are going to single crochet across, and you will end with 28 stitches in row 17. For row 18, we are going to only increase once in the middle. So we're going to start with 14 single crochet, increase in that 15th stitch, and end with 13 single crochet for a total of 29 stitches across. And for row 19, once again, we are going to do a row of single crochet across for a total of 29 stitches. So we've reached the widest part of our heart. Like I said in the beginning, my box measures 9 inches across, so I am just measuring, making sure my heart is 9 inches across. And now we are going to maintain that 29 stitches for the next few rows. Once again, I'm just measuring my heart up against the box just to make sure that shape is accurate. So now we have the widest part, and now we're going to work on the decreasing part that is at the top of the heart. We're going to skip the first stitch of row 26, and then we're going to single crochet across. We're going to repeat that same thing for rows 27 through 29. So we're going to skip the first stitch and just single crochet across. At row 30, and we are going to do 2 decreases in this row. We're going to start by skipping that first stitch. We're going to do 22 single crochet across, skip that next to the last stitch, and then single crochet in the ending stitch. So now we can see we have everything except the 2 humps at the top. So now we have to create those. We're going to work across half of the row first, leaving 1 stitch for the middle, and then we will come back and work the second half. So for row 31, we're going to skip that first stitch, and then we are going to work 10 single crochet across, chain 1, and turn. So we leave all of those other stitches unworked. we're just working on one of the humps at a time. For row 32, once again, we're going to skip that first stitch. We're going to work 7 single crochet across, skip that next to the last stitch, and then single crochet in that last stitch. And now row 33 is going to be our last row for this hump. So we're going to skip those first 2 stitches. We're going to increase in those middle 3 stitches, skip the next 2 stitches, and then slip stitch in the last stitch. Now we are going to fasten off and reattach the yarn to work that second hump. For this, there are 2 different ways that you can do it. I skipped that middle stitch and just reattached into that next stitch and worked it across. What you can do to get 2 uniform humps is turn your work so that the stitches are on your right side. If you choose to do it the way I did it, which is starting from the middle, then you are just going to follow the instructions on the screen for the last 3 rows. If you choose to turn your work and work from the right side, you are going to work your last 3 rows the same way we worked row 31 through 33. So you will just repeat that pattern for that second hump. You are done with one heart. You're going to fasten off and make another. So now we are working on the sides of the cake. For this, we will need 2 sides. We will need one for the top and one for the bottom. For the top of your cake, which is the lid of your box, you are first going to leave a tail, chain 85, and then you are going to skip that first stitch and then single crochet across for a total of 84 stitches, and you are going to do this for 5 rows. For the bottom of your cake, which is the bottom part of the box, you're going to do the exact same thing. leave a tail, chain 85. We're going to skip that first stitch and then single crochet across for 84 stitches. And we're going to do that for a total of 7 rows. So once you have the top and bottom pieces done, we now have to connect both ends of the pieces. So what we're going to do is take the top piece, put both right sides together and sew the stitches together. We're going to do the same for the bottom so that now you have circular pieces. Next up is our shell piped frosting, which goes around the edge of the heart and around the bottom of the heart. So this one is pretty difficult to explain. I will try my best, but your best bet is to just watch what I'm doing on the screen. So we're going to start by taking an arm's length chain and then chaining 2. In the second chain from the hook, we're going to place 1 single crochet. Now we're going to chain 4 and turn our work. And in that same stitch, we are going to place 4 treble crochet. So we're going to yarn over twice, put it in that same stitch that the chain 4 comes out of. We're going to pull it through and then pull through 2 and pull through 2. So now we have 2 loops on our hook. We're going to repeat that same thing 3 more times until we end up with 5 loops on our hook. And now we're going to pull through all 5 loops and repeat that same thing 1 more time. So we're going to do another 4 treble crochet in the same stitch. Now we're going to chain 1 and turn our work. So now we're going to flip our bobble over, and right at the top we can see we have 2 stitches up there. We're going to skip that first stitch and we're going to single crochet into that second stitch. And now our pattern repeats itself. So once again, we are going to chain 4 and do 2 sets of 4 treble crochet, pulling through each of those 5 loops. And we're going to repeat that pattern until we have a total of 22 bobbles. both sets of our bobbles. Now we want to flip them to the right side. So we just take our finger and push it through that rounded side of the bobble, and we're going to just push it inside out so that we have the right side showing. So next up we have our ruffle frosting, which goes directly underneath our piped frosting. For that, we're going to chain 85. We want to skip the first 2 stitches, and then we're going to do 3 half double crochet in each stitch. Now we are going to glue on the 2 pieces for the top and the bottom along the sides. So we take our hot glue and just glue it all around the sides. For the bottom, you want to make sure that it stops where the lid meets the bottom so that your box can still close. And now for the easy part, we're just going to pin the heart all along the edges of the side and sew it all together on the top and the bottom. Now we're going to pin down our frosting all around the edge of our cake, making sure that we have an even number of baubles on both sides. So since we made 22 baubles, we will have 11 on both sides. Now we're going to sew down our frosting. So to do that, we are going to take that long tail that we made. We're going to go underneath the bauble, pick up the yarn from the cake layer, so that heart cake. We're going to pick up the yarn from there, then bring it up through the single crochet stitch that's at the end of the next bauble and bring it back over to the top of the first bauble. It's difficult to explain, but it makes more sense when you just watch. And now you're going to use that same method to sew the bottom frosting along the sides of the bottom. For the ruffle, we are literally just going to pull that ruffle straight. So right now it's in a spiral. We're going to take that straight edge of our work and pin it up against the side of the heart cake and just glue it all the way around, and making sure that we uncurl that spiral as we go. Next up is that little curved frosting that we have around the bottom of the cake. For that, you're just going to chain 130 and evenly place it all around the bottom of the cake and just pin it in place and then hot glue it. So now you can top your cake with whatever you choose. I don't have a tutorial in this video for that, but I did just go ahead and make some bows, which is just chaining 26 and tying it in a bow. I have a ruffle frosting, which is the kind of like the whipped cream. And then I have this star-tipped kind of frosting and then some cherries that I added to the top of my cake. And that's it, you're done. Thank you guys so much for watching my video. Hopefully you learned something new. Please leave a like, comment, and subscribe to my channel for more tutorials. And I will see you in the next video.